Welcome to the Best of Central Florida. I'm your host, Justin Clark. I'll never forget, 2002, I was in law school in Boston, the Beantown Pub to be exact. One of my classmates walked over and I said, where are you from? And he said, Orlando. I was shocked. I thought Orlando was theme parks, maybe a water park or two, maybe a couple of chain restaurants. Who would have thought? What we have here in Central Florida, an amazing place to live. Who would have thought? Now I've lived here for 15 years. I've raised a family here, fallen in love with Central Florida. We have a hidden gem. There's no question about it. From the theme parks, yes, but the great restaurants, sports, an art scene, the Wekiva River, the beaches, and the ocean. Central Florida is a fantastic place to live. From Flagler Beach to Cocoa Beach, Orlando to Marion County. This is the best of Central Florida. Today's episode is all about beer. You can thank me later. The best breweries of Central Florida, to be exact. Beer, definitely one of my favorite drinks, Michaela. What about you?
I mean, me too.
Well, you can't complain at all. Also one of the world's oldest drinks, believe it or not, dating back to the 5th millennium. Back in Iran. Whoever thought beer was that old, huh?
I guess they were drinking back then.
They even say that the invention of beer and bread led to our civilization. So we should all be thankful for beer if you really think about it. Benjamin Franklin said beer is proof that God wants us to be happy as well. So it's hard to argue that beer is not a fantastic topic,
Definitely.
Over the last decade or so, breweries have really been popping up everywhere. But if you think about it, I think it's our society's way of pulling away from the big corporation and supporting local.
Yep.
I think beer is a perfect example, and especially breweries. Now, we like to go to breweries because we don't want to support necessarily the big corporation. We have fantastic breweries throughout Central Florida, but Michaela and I had to narrow it down to 3. After this quick break, we're going to start with Michaela's choice, Critics' Choice of Best Breweries in Central Florida.
We're here with Glenn, the founder of Ivanhoe Brewing, and he is our winner of the Critics' Choice. So thank you for being on with us, Glenn.
Thank you. It's an honor to be Critics' Choice selection, so we're excited to show off our product and our beer.
Phenomenal. So when did this beer come about, and how long have you been in the business?
So Ivanhoe Brewing has been around about 2.5 years now. We'll be celebrating 3 years this summer. I actually owned a brewery in California that I opened in 2013. And learned a lot of lessons from that first one, and kind of took those lessons and exited in 2015, and that allowed me to come out here and kind of start fresh and kick it off in a new market.
Phenomenal. So what led you to Florida, of all places?
There was definitely a niche in the market. I had come to Orlando quite a bit. I mean, coming to the parks and hanging out at the amusement parks, it's a big deal. But I realized there weren't many breweries here when I had come in 2014 to check it out. So 2016 was when I moved out here, and I really started researching craft beer and what breweries were out there. There was maybe 16 at the time, and now, there's a lot of great breweries that are opening up, and we have almost 32 at this point by now.
Wow, 32.
Yes, it's growing.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank
So I would love to hear a little bit more about Ivanhoe Park and just kind of what made you pick that location, and more importantly, the beer that's there.
Yes, so behind the name Ivanhoe Park, there was actually an amusement park on Lake Ivanhoe back in 1910.
Wow.
So it's interesting to think that before Disney and Universal and SeaWorld were even a thing, we had our own little amusement park in Central Florida, and it was located on Lake Ivanhoe, which you could actually see from where our outdoor patio currently sits. So we kind of wanted to dig up that history, and we'll go through the beers, I'm sure, eventually with the names. But all the branding kind of goes back to 1910. It was George Russell that actually opened it up. So it's just an interesting story. When I had first moved out here and heard about it, I really wanted to kind of get in the market and be able to undig that story so that Central Florida that hasn't heard about it can kind of relate to the history, but also, get an experience through the beer.
Definitely. So let's talk about that experience. I mean, do you have one beer in particular that's your favorite or a crowd favorite, or more importantly, the critic's choice?
There you go. It's a tough one. I would say for me, Park Hopper Pilsner is probably my favorite. It's just a light, easy drinking Pilsner.
Yeah.
We've actually won a gold medal for it for Florida Best Beer Fest. And then more recently, we won a bronze medal for the US Beer Open, which is a pretty tough competition. So
Oh my goodness. Well,
it's a great winning awards for it, and it's just a light, easy drinking beer.
definitely. Okay, so for someone like me who kind of stays away from like heavier beers, I'm more of like a light ale, blondish, I think. What would you like recommend for someone like me?
For our core beer is probably the Toboggan Blonde Ale. That one's just like you said, it's that basic blonde ale, 5%, basic hop, basic malt build, so it's nothing too crazy. It's just kind of what beer is supposed to be. We do have some seasonals that are fun. I don't know if you ever dabble into sours, but we have one called Guavacation that we now do year round. And it's a 3.6%, so super easy to drink. And it's just got like a light tartness, a little bit of sweetness because we do add guava and raspberry to it.
Phenomenal. That sounds so good, especially for a hot Florida summer day, because I know we're approaching all that. Speaking of Florida and summers, you guys do so much for the community. How does Ivanhoe Park really kind of connect with the Orlando-based community?
Yeah, so with the community, our main focus is a commitment to community. So we do a lot of events locally as Keep Orlando Beautiful. They're part of the city of Orlando, and we work with them to do local cleanups. We do them quarterly. We actually just did one for Earth Day a couple weeks ago.
Phenomenal.
Had a great attendance for that. Another thing we do is we donate a lot of product and sponsorship product for Enzian Theater. They do their Florida Film Festival. We've worked downtown with City Arts. And we do offer Family Day and Dog Day afternoon in the tap room, so it's kind of a way for us to have special days in the tap room that kind of give back to the community.
That's incredible and so, so important. Building that community and that relationship is what, makes you guys so wonderful. So let's talk a little bit about some exciting news you have coming up next month with Brew Hub.
Yes, so Brew Hub is out in Lakeland. They're a great partner to work with, and what they're actually going to do, so these 4 core beers, we've had a hard time keeping up with inventory for distribution in our current brewery situation. So we're actually gonna contract brew with them so that they pick up these beers for us, and that just allows us more access to market. We've been in ABC, Total Wine, Fresh Market, a lot of bigger chains that are trying to drive us more statewide. So we're really concentrating on Central Florida, but at the same time we'll have access to a partnership that can take us, across the state pretty quickly.
Wow. So is that like the dream?
I think, with COVID, it's difficult. People are starting to kind of draw back and go down to their roots, but at the same time, we want to get past COVID and, look at going to statewide at some point.
Phenomenal, phenomenal. So you've won multiple awards and you're just growing so much in the community. How do you feel personally? I mean, watching the success happen, how does that just make you feel, Glenn?
It's been great. To be honest, I feel like we've been lucky. I have a great team there. I have a good management team in place and all the staff in the front of house. It's just good for me because it's a lot of hands off. I don't have to worry too much. People just kind of get their job done and, they check in with me. But in the end of the day, these guys are hardworking and getting the job done. And I think that just kind of goes behind the brand. They have the same passion that I have. And I think, that culture trickling down in between, the staff, the management, and everything like that kind of just helps the brand even more, and consumers see that on their side. So
definitely. Well, thank you so much, Glenn. It's been an honor to have you here today. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling thirsty, so I say we open up some beer, and we'll hear from Justin next.
You have spoken, the people have spoken. The people's choice goes to Clermont Brewing Company. And who better else to ask about Clermont Brewing Company than the people from Clermont Brewing Company? How are you guys?
Good.
Darren Johnson's here, Eric Brown is here. Thanks for joining me. I'm super thirsty, by the way.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Here's the thing. I know a lot of people that love breweries, and they say, you know, we just want to have a food truck. Food's not really important. Atmosphere is not important. I think there's maybe some snobbiness even when it comes to some breweries. Is it the beer? Is it the atmosphere? What really makes a great brewery?
Well, from my experience, it's the guest experience. The beer's first and foremost, but you know, I am a big believer that you need an entire experience to complement the beer, not it just be the beer. And you know, my wife drug me breweries all over the country.
Yeah, your wife.
You know, yeah,
that's what they all say.
Yeah,
like,
right. Yeah,
right.
That's a joke. And, but you know, if they didn't have food, we left after 2 beers. So exactly. You know, that was kind of the premise by having food. And I see a lot of breweries now adding food to their menus.
I think you got lucky with Eric here. Yeah. Fantastic. Now, I don't think I've ever seen anyone who brews their own seltzer. Eric, tell me about this one.
Yeah, so this was Darren's brainchild.
Oh yeah.
He wanted a seltzer. You know, the White Claws were trending, and so I did a lot of research, and we started making them about a year and a half ago. So we always have one on tap. We switch the fruit consistently. It's currently a cherry, but yeah, nice light, 5% low carb.
I see some limes on the desk as well. I can't help but notice Cinco de Mayo is just a few days away. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so this is actually our best-selling beer since we've had it on tap. So it's not just for the May holiday, but it's our Mexican lager, kind of, you know, Corona, Pacifico, kind of in that vein. But again, a nice, light, refreshing, warm weather beer.
It's easy to drink 6 of them.
Oh yeah, well, trust me. You and I, have no problem at all. Tell me about that, Eric. So I do kind of like a lighter beer. I'm more like Darren, I think, in that, you know, a seltzer every now and again, fine, but even a Miller Lite or some kind of Corona. I love that. As a real brewer, be honest with me, do you judge me?
Not at all.
All right, good.
In
good
fact,
answer.
I think, honestly, the hardest beers to make are these light beers without a ton of dark malt, without a ton of hops, because the flaws come through. So any errors are a lot harder to cover up. So I take pride in making good light beers.
What is going on Cinco de Mayo?
Well, we've got live bands, we've got drink specials, we got the Tequila Girls, we've got hat dancing. We got a big time going. It starts at 4.
You guys are awesome too. The food, fantastic, full bar. It's not just a brewery, but like I asked before the show, beer is number 1 for you, and I think that's what separates you guys. Tell me about the food.
Well, we've got a pretty eclectic mix of food, and I think everybody laughs because it's all my favorite foods: pizza, sushi, tacos, salads.
That's your wife too, right?
Barbecue, yeah, it's strictly my wife. You know?
I figured as much.
Yeah.
And during the week, it seems like you have something going on every single night down there.
Well, Monday night's cash cornhole, Tuesday night's trivia, tonight's wingo bingo. We do smoked wings on the smoker, cash prizes, and then Country Thunder Thursday, and then rock and roll dance Friday and Saturday.
Unbelievable. You got to tell me about the rooster logo. Clermont Brewing Company has this rooster logo on this. You can see the T-shirts here. Where did that come from?
Well, I happen to have 4 daughters and a wife where I always used to make a joke that this was my chick farm, and I was the only rooster in the house. And then where we built the brewery, it used to be a feed store, and they used to have chicken feed and roosters there. So when I knocked the building down to build the brewery, when we started searching for a logo or an idea, the rooster was the most, you know, relevant thing to our world. So hence Brewster.
Unbelievable. Yeah. It's interesting you say that because Claremont used to be sort of the country. Not anymore. It's changing down there.
It's wall to wall from Orlando all the way out now.
But still, you know, someone who's maybe watching in Marion County or whatever, they've made it easier to get down to that part of Lake County. I mean, I think that Clermont Brewing Company is a place it's a destination. That's the way I see it. I think no matter where someone is in Central Florida, it's a must-see, must-stop. What do you think?
Oh, I totally agree. It's easy to get there now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, just turnpike straight in.
And again, it's full bar, events every single night. What is it like? I walk into your place, what do I feel?
Well, you'll feel a vibe. You know, when you go to a place, you know, it's about the music, it's about the lighting, it's about the decor, it's about how you're greeted. It's all of those things that make the guest experience. And we really try to do that on purpose.
Tell me about these beers.
Yeah, so the last couple that I didn't talk about, the Hazy IPA.
This one right here, right?
Yep. That's a New England style IPA. A lot of people have issues with IPA because of the bitterness. This one is a very juice-forward beer, big fruit bursts, and not a lot of bitterness. So it's a lot more approachable for people that aren't into IPAs. And last is our dessert beer, and it's a chocolate chip cookie dough stout. We always have one of these on tap. The flavor changes. Right now it's this, but just a really good, you'll get the vanilla, you'll get the chocolate.
Not that I'm obviously worried about it right now, but so this versus this, calorie-wise, is one of them way more caloric than the other?
Exactly what you would think.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. I was hoping you were going to say no.
And not all dark beers are higher in calorie, but this one absolutely is.
Awesome. I can't wait to see you guys again. Darren Johnson, Eric Brown, Clermont Brewing Company. So good to have you. Thank you for bringing all this. It's going to be a long day here after they leave, I assure you that. Stick around. One more award to follow as the show continues. Finally today, it is my choice. Now, my wife has accused me of having no taste whatsoever, but I know when it comes to breweries, I have excellent taste. And my choice today for best brewery in Central Florida, Three Odd Guys Brewing. Philip Deems is here. Hello, Phil. How are you, buddy?
How you doing? Good to see you. Well, actually, let me interrupt you.
Please.
Justin, I don't care what the other words are.
Okay.
Justin's choice is the most important.
Oh, yeah, well, of course. I mean, yeah, that's
Sure.
a no-brainer, obviously. But I know a little bit of your story. How in the world do we go from drinking in the backyard with the neighbors, like we all have done, of course, to owning a brewery with the same neighbors? How does this happen?
Well, it's real simple. We all lived about 100 yards from each other. We all loved to drink beer. That simple.
Yep.
One night, Josh, who's our head brewer, actually said, I'm tired of, drinking other people's beer. Why don't we try to brew our own? And we did, and it worked out. And the irony of all this is we probably spent 3 years brewing beers in the garage and giving away so much beer. We probably would have been rich if we just would have started this a little bit earlier. But there were 30 people in our garage probably every other weekend or so when we were brewing beer. So we knew we were onto something. Everybody loved our beer. So it was pretty cool.
Downtown Apopka. I love how you guys have kind of taken your arms and wrapped your arms around Apopka. How has Apopka treated you?
Apopka has been very important to us. As a matter of fact, the mayor has been a big supporter of ours, and we appreciate that. But what we did is when we would always leave Apopka to go have beer or to go out and have some fun, because there really wasn't anything to do at the time. Now it's growing up. But at the time, we said, listen, there's a hole in the market. Traditionally an ad guy, so I saw a hole in the market.
Yep.
Okay? And literally said we could probably do pretty well if we did this on our own. So that's when we decided to do it and open up and embrace Apopka, because Apopka has embraced us.
Sure. Last time I was there, I bumped into someone. When I was at Apopka at Three Odd Guys, Michaela was there, and she said,
surprise,
Justin,
surprise.
you have to try this beer. You said it's one of your favorite beers on the planet. Which one is it?
Chief's Horse Feathers, my
you.
absolute favorite.
That's
I
a
don't
good
know, I was not a beer drinker, and then I had your beer, and you converted me, so congratulations.
And tell your parents I'm sorry.
Yeah,
But
I'll tell them.
that's a good one though. Chief's Horse Feathers is one of my favorites. It was named after my grandfather.
Oh,
He
wow.
was, he loved the Miller High Life, which was called the champagne of beers
Of course.
back then, right?
I thought it still was.
And it really is, yeah. It probably is.
Okay.
I don't drink it. But he loved it, and he's a smoker, so he had this raspy voice, and he didn't want to cuss in front of us kids. So what he would do was just say, "Oh boy, that's horse feathers," right? So Chief's Horse Feathers was born. It's one of the taproom favorites. It does very well. It's very light, 4.5%, nice and buttery. That's probably why you like it. It's nice and light, right? You like it light.
I do.
And it's fantastic, easy drinker, easy to drink.
You have a lot of things that go on at nighttime.
We do.
Over at 3OG, as we call it.
3OG.
Is that okay if we say 3OG?
Lovingly called 3OG.
We love it. What events do you have? It seems like every night there's something else.
Every night. On Monday nights, we try to be as cool as you are, and we have our own little broadcast, right? So
yes.
we do our broadcast on Mondays, and it's a blast from, I think it's from 7:30 to like 8:30ish. We also have dollar beers while we're doing that, so we get people in there to hang out with us, exactly. Tuesdays, we have trivia. Wednesdays, we do karaoke. I'd like to see you go out there and sing. It'll be a
Not gonna
blast,
happen.
right?
I don't care
would
how
be
much
great.
of the 3OG beer I drink. drink.
Since we are your favorite, you got to come
well,
out
you're
and
my
sing.
favorite, but that doesn't mean I'm singing
Exactly.
with
Oh, come on. So Wednesdays is karaoke. We have a blast.
Yeah.
Thursdays, we do what's called No Cook Thursdays. We want people to kind of take it easy. They don't have to cook at home. They can come hang out with us, right? We have food trucks. We also have paninis in-house that we serve. Fridays are always a blast. Teachers can come out on Fridays from 4 to 7 and get half off beers. And then Saturday and Sunday is just insane. So
How many times have you done karaoke at your own bar?
I have done it several times. It's
Is that right?
Embarrassing.
What's your go-to song?
Justin Timberlake's "I'm Bringing Sexy Back."
Oh my God.
Do you
I'm not surprised.
Are you a karaoke girl?
Sometimes maybe after a few beers I would be. So no one wants to
I
hear that.
expect it next week.
Right?
We'll see you
I
there.
will.
I don't think I've ever done karaoke. I can't believe you two. Is this normal? I thought
It
this
is
was.
normal.
I thought only like weirdos did karaoke.
And,
I didn't know this is a normal thing.
I didn't say I was good at it. I just said I'd do it.
I'll talk to your wife. I know your wife, and
Exactly.
we'll see. What did you bring us today?
So today we brought the Chief's Horse Feathers, which we just talked about. We also have APK IPA. APK IPA was literally brewed for Apopka. What we did is we said, when you look at a heat map of Apopka and you look at the types of beer they're drinking, a lot of light beers, a lot of lagers, a lot of pilsners. So we wanted to introduce them to an IPA that was nice and balanced. So it's not bitter forward, not hop forward. It's a little more malt forward with some citrus. So APK IPA is one of the taproom favorites along with Chiefs. And then we have Midnight Bike Ride. It's for the heavier drinkers that like to drink, double IPAs. Midnight Bike Ride is 8.4%. It's delicious. It's not hop forward or bitter forward. Again, we're not trying to. We don't want to see the bitter beer face. So it's a really good balanced beer. These are our, 3 of our core beers. We also have Finchek Brown Ale. That's another core beer of ours. And by the way, when you come into the brewery, you can actually, instead of ordering a flight, we said, listen, we need to make it unique to us. And one of the most popular things in our brewery is our orange couches. So you'll see them everywhere. So matter of fact, the podcast is called the Orange Couch. So what we do is we do what's called couch surfing, which is a flight of 5 instead of 4. And what we try to do with the 5th one is a brewer's choice, which trying to get you to try something different. So if you're a light beer drinker, what we would do is say, Michaela, let's give you something a little bit darker,
Twist my
see if you
arm.
like it. Exactly. And then a lot of people are finding out that they like beers that they never even would have tried. It's fantastic.
Philip Deems, 3 Odd Guys Brewing there in downtown Apopka. My favorite, Justin's Choice,
Love
the
it.
winner
And that's
for
the most
today.
important. It's all that matters.
You guys are doing such a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank
I
you.
love you. Thanks
Very
for coming
much.
here.
Thank
Michaela,
you.
excellent work today. What do you think?
Thank you. Oh my gosh, so much fun. And Philip, you're phenomenal. And Justin, you got a great thing going.
Well, I'm dying to have a drink, obviously. How about you?
Oh my gosh, me too. Chief's Horse Feathers.
Well, next week it only gets better. Next week it is pizza. Here's what I want you to do. If you have any recommendations for your favorite pizza joint, one lucky winner is going to get $50 gift card to Clermont Brewing Company. All you have to do is email me directly, jclark@youhavepower.com. Also, if you have some categories, you own a business that you want us to address right here on the show in the future, all you have to do is email jclark@youhavepower.com. Thank you to our entire crew. Excellent job today. For Michaela, I'm Justin Clark. We'll see you same time, same place next week for Best of Central Florida.